Hello guys, FurballTheHammy here again. Today I'm gonna show you guys how to get out of the dreaded mid-game and to enter the endgame where the fun begins. Firstly, I know everyone's definition of mid-game and late game is different. Currently, I believe that there's an early game, mid-game, late game, and endgame. So I would try to find a middle ground whereby the majority will agree with me, and I will define what it actually is to be a mid-game player and what it is to be an endgame player. However, today I will be mainly covering how to bridge from mid-game to endgame and how to overcome this wall that everyone hates in Hypixel Skyblock. First, moving on to the definitions, what is mid-game? Mid-game refers to a player who has Ender armor or Protector and Old Dragon armor and is currently using an aspect of the End, Raider's Axe, or a Leaping Sword. Late game players will generally refer to players who own a strong or unstable dragon armor, or even mastiff or tarantula set, and while also using a weapon like a tactician's sword with wood singularity, an aspect of the dragons, or a pigman's sword, and in some cases even a silk edge would count as late game. So today I'm not gonna sugarcoat things here. The road to breaking into late game is painfully long and arduous. It is a painful process which involves many hours of grinding. It will possibly take in the 20-hour plus range to even break out of it. And today I'm gonna tell you how I actually broke out of it. However, before I start off with the video properly, I still have a giveaway going on as mentioned in my previous video. The last time I mentioned about the giveaway that I'm giving away a Leaping Sword, a set of Young Dragon armor, and as well as 5 lucky players who will walk away with 200,000 coins. The giveaway is still going on in my Discord server, so click the link in the description down below because the giveaway is still going on and it's going to end in around 3 days from now when the video is released. So participate in the giveaway and I hope you guys win. So now moving on to the video. So right now I will explain to you how I broke out of the mid game. So first and foremost, I know you guys see me with expensive items like the Overflux, Reaper Scythe, and even Perfect 12. But I'll be honest, the road for me up here was rough. It wasn't easy, okay? Although I'll admit that once you break past mid game, earning money is a lot easier and your bank will exponentially grow and get larger, so keep that in mind. The difficulty will eventually go back down once you clear this barrier. The way I broke through mid game was by simply grinding summoning ice. And I'll be honest with you, when the end first came out, I only had a golem sword and magma armor. I painfully grinded out my own set of ender armor by killing the top floor enderman as well as the 6000 health enderman. And basically, I grinded for ender armor and then I traded the duplicate pieces of ender armor that I got to other players for those ender armor pieces that I didn't own. And then once I got myself a full set of ender armor, I placed a bunch of cave spider minions and I got myself a leaping sword. And afterwards, I went to kill a bunch of zealots. And after that was done, I collected some ice. I sold them off all to the auction to buy wise dragon armor. And afterwards, I went to grind more ice again because I needed more money. I was broke after I bought it. So I did this for around 1 month with the young dragon armor, and the wise dragon armor, and I grinded around 2 double chests of ice, approximately 90 ice, and I sold them off all to the auction house, and I got around 40 million coins for that. Back in the days when ice only sold for like 350,000 coins. Yeah, that was how much I basically got. Ice today sell for like 500k. So yeah, I will talk about that later. And with the ender pearls that I got from killing all of these goddamn zealots, I just crafted them into enchanted ender pearls and I ran 2 blaze minions. And I used the blaze rods that they gave me to craft the enchanted ender pearls into enchanted eyes of ender, and then I crafted them into aspects of the end. So after I got all of these things crafted, I sold them off to the auction house and they sold for around 200,000 coins each. And basically, when Slayers came out a few months later, I had around 50 million coins lying around and I bought myself a strong dragon set and I grinded Slayers, which made me become where I am today. Yeah, underneath all of these flashy items and success is actually just the dull reality strike. I'll be extremely honest. Sometimes the reality behind success and the road behind it is usually boring, and in this case, that's the truth still. But with several updates since the end, there are now more options than ever to break out of mid game and enter late game or even end game. But don't worry, because right now with the updates that came out, there are plenty of other opportunities to make money now. So don't worry too much. And now I will be telling you guys on 5 methods that I have came up with to help you guys break out of mid game the most effectively. The first option, as you guys probably heard, was me grinding ice. Look, I know now there is a stiffer competition to grind ice because everyone has young or even wise dragon armor because the update has already been out for a few months. That's true. There is stiffer competition, but right now ice are going for above 500,000 coins. During peak hours, they sometimes even go above 550,000 coins. So the prices of ice currently are approximately 30% higher than what they used to sell for back in the days, which was only 350,000 coins. So even though you have stiffer competition, you are paid more for every single eye you get, and thus I believe that it is thus still very relevant and very profitable. However, you probably need a lot of talismans and a leaping sword or an aspect of the end or a radius axe that's hot potato booked in order to actually do 13,000 damage a hit to use this eye grinding method. And this method is by far the most profitable and the method that will make you the most money. But I think you guys probably heard of this. So yeah, I'll be moving on to our second option really quickly. The second option is something that I theory crafted myself. So I used this method on a previous video that I made. It was about like 5 methods for early to mid game players to actually make money in Hypixel Skyblock. So I'll put that in the link in the description down below if you guys would like a more detailed explanation on the second method that I'm going to introduce right now. It is the radius axe and the aspect of the ends strategy. This is boring. I mean, this method is actually boring as well as many other methods. Hypixel Skyblock is one big grind, let's be honest. But with the new buff of 4,500 health Enderman, like the Enderman on the top floor of the end, they can actually drop Ender armor now, and they sell for 10,000 coins each. And if you can only do 4,500 damage with a radius axe and Ender armor, this would be very effective. Reason being that the plus 20 coins per kill on the radius axe ability, when combined with Scavenger 4, which gives you 1.2 coins per level of the mob you kill. So the Endermen on the top floor are like level 38. So each kill you get is 20 coins plus 1.2 times 38. And that's not including the Ender Pearls that you get from killing the Enderman and the looting that increases the Ender Pearls that you get from every kill. And on top of that, since Ender Armor can also be dropped by these 4,500 health Endermen and they sell for 10,000 coins each, you can push your profits even higher. Now, you guys can sell the enchanted Ender Pearls dropped by the Enderman, or you guys can take it a step further and put a few blaze minions down on your base and use the blaze rods that they give to craft your enchanted Ender Pearls into enchanted Eyes of Ender and to craft them into aspects at the end to sell them off in the auction house for around 150,000 coins. That will make you more money than just selling the enchanted Ender Pearls in general. So consider doing that if you guys want to make more profits and to take this strategy up to an even higher level. So you will be making around 300,000 coins to around 500,000 coins per hour with this method. It is a very consistent method because you only need kills with the radius axe and you only need the Ender Pearls that are dropped. Those two will be your main bulk of where the money is coming from. The Ender armor that is dropped and gets sold to the NPC for 10,000 coins each is just a bonus. So yeah, this method is by far the most consistent money making method for mid-game players who just entered the mid-game and can only do 4,500 damage per hit. It is the most consistent money making method if no luck needed. So yeah, Moving on to the third method, slave labor. Listen to me. I know this sounds really weird, but wait. Before you skip this method, basically if you don't like using your brain cells to grind and you like to be paid for your time for playing in Hypixel Skyblock, this is a great method for you guys. Basically, you just help players who need enchanted materials but are too lazy to put in the elbow grease to buy the materials. The job is very simple. You basically ask the buyer what the buyer wants for the enchanted materials. For example, if you ask me what I wanted to buy, I would probably tell you that I want enchanted flint and enchanted iron, and the number of stacks of enchanted flint and enchanted iron that I would want. Then you will just buy these stacks of enchanted materials for me, and I will pay you for the base cost of the enchanted materials in addition to the extra money as commission. I personally hire slaves to buy me mats for 15,000 extra coins on top of the base cost. So yeah, the current market rate is around 10,000 to 15,000 coins, and I pay up to the higher area of 15,000 coins, and eventually I intend to raise it up to 17,000 extra coins for each enchanted stack soon. So yeah, I actually hire a lot of NPC slaves or slave labor in my Discord server, so feel free to join it and I will treat you very well because I care about my slaves, okay? I have good slave treatment and I love my slaves. So yeah, don't demonetize me, but yeah, it is a good money making method for any player right now. Even if you just started, you can just start clicking. As long as you have the recipe for the enchanted materials, you can just start doing slave labor. If you're early or even mid game, you can totally pull it off, and it is by far quite strategic, and it actually earns you a lot of money if you're willing to do the manual labor. And if you were to be my slave labor to help me buy enchanted materials, I would actually pay you quite well. In fact, yeah, I pay you around 15,000 coins per enchanted stack, and sometimes I round up the price up for you guys. I round it up so you guys make a bit more. So yeah, be sure to join my Discord server, guys. I would treat you guys very well if you guys help me buy enchanted mats, okay? So the next method I'll be explaining will be flipping. This is by far the hardest strategy because it actually involves brain cells. Basically, this only works for players who have 3 million coins or more in the bank. You guys want to have some capital, and you want to expand their wealth in the late game even more. Essentially, you want to purchase items during off-peak hours and auction them off during peak hours, and you will earn quite a bit of money from doing that. This strategy works best for players who live in odd time zones like me in GMT +8 in Singapore. So if you guys live around the same time zone as me, comment in the description down below. You guys are really rare for me to meet, and I would love to actually talk to you guys. It's a lot more convenient for me actually. Yeah, and I love to like know more about you guys, especially for you guys living in the same time zone, because it's easier for me to communicate. So yeah, moving back to the method. For example, you can buy super compactors for 300,000 coins to 325,000 coins during off-peak hours, and sell them for up to 400,000 coins or even more during peak hours. Hence, you can make money with every single super compactor you buy and sell. However, you guys will be asking, why do you need 3 million coins in capital to even start doing this? Because even if you were to bid 300,000 coins to 325,000 coins on super compactors during off-peak hours, it is still highly likely that they will get overbidded. So you want to bid on like 10 plus or even more super compactors at once, and usually only 2 to 4 items will successfully go through and not get overbidded. So yeah, you would do want to have some large capital like 3 billion coins to start flipping. And I know you guys might say, I can just do it with 325,000 coins, right? But the problem is, every time you get outbid, you must wait for the auction to end, collect the money, and then auction, and then bid on another super compactor again. So it's not very time efficient if you guys only have a small amount of capital and you guys want to flip. And also, sometimes if you're unlucky during peak hours, people may end up flipping your flipped items that you tried to sell. Sometimes that happens, but that's extremely rare. But that means that you might want to have some capital to tank some of these losses that may occasionally happen. If you can only buy one super compactor and you want to flip it, there is a good chance that you might actually lose money from that, or even worse, you might not even be able to buy one because it's actually very time inefficient, because you need to come back every 5 minutes to take the money back and to and to bid on another super compactor again, is it is extremely time inefficient. So for flipping, you require a lot of knowledge of the auction house and the economy, and you also need a good amount of capital. Now, moving on to the last method, minions. This is extremely straightforward, guys. Just get a bunch of clay minions, sit around, and wait until you have enough coins to buy a leaping sword to one-hit zealots. I do not care for whatever reason you have. You do not put down any other minions other than clay minions if you guys are not grinding minion slots. Because if you were to put 19 coal minions down because you want enchanted lava buckets, the value of the enchanted lava buckets you get would not be the equivalent of the amount of clay minions that the cost and money that the clay minions will give you. One clay level minion will give you 50,000 coins every single day if it has a super compactor 3000 and a diamond spreading, as well as an enchanted lava bucket. One clay 11 minion will give you 50,000 coins every single day. And that is a lot more than what even a coal 11 minion will give you every single day. And let's not to mention, clay minions are by far the easiest to get a tier 11. So just put clay minions if you are not grinding for minion slots. Case closed. So now moving on, now that I have the money, what's next? So once you've amassed around 7 to 10 million coins through the methods I mentioned above, you guys need to think about your next move. And by the way, congratulations on making it into endgame. So you guys need to ask yourself, would you rather continue grinding ice for the rest of Skyblock until dungeons comes out to collect more money, or to do dragons, or to even do slayers like me? Eye grinding is a good money making method even into the endgame and post game, and will always be a good money making method for a while, but it's highly competitive and is luck based. But if you intend to go down this path because you like it, I don't know why, I recommend you guys buy young or wise dragon armor with a stronger weapon like an aspect of the dragons or pigman sword, so you can run wise reforgers, so you can make use of speed and to move around even faster with more mana. So dragon grinding is the second endgame money making method. Dragon grinding is a good money making method, to be honest, and provided if you have a huge capital, talking about 20 million coins, it's just not really worth it to do, because if you do it in the long run, it's profitable, but you require a large capital of money to prevent you from going bankrupt, because you can't just pray that those 10 eyes that you bought with 5 mil are going to guarantee you a profit. And if you lose money from those 10 eyes that you bought, which is actually quite likely because they nerf the aspect of the dragon's drop chance, which means that it is even less likely for you guys to make profit now. You can't just bet 5 million coins on ice and hope that it will grow. If you bet 50 million coins, it will grow, but 5 million coins is very risky, and if you lose money from that, you might actually go bankrupt and you might actually have no money left in your bank, to be honest. So yeah, the problem with this is that once you lose money, after you buy ice and you use the ice, then you have nothing left in your bank to reinvest into ice again. Thus, you will need a large capital, and in the long run, if you do it dragons every single day back to back to back, it is profitable. But you require a huge capital and even a Dragon Hunter 3 Runan's bow with power 6 with hot potato books to even stay relevant, along with strong dragon armor and a tarantula helmet if you want to go down this path. It is a very challenging path, and I personally never went down this path. But it is very profitable if you guys can start doing it with a lot of capital, like 50 plus million coins. If you can do it, go ahead. I highly recommend it for money. The last method that is for endgame players will be it will basically be just grinding slayers. For slayers, you want a gun for at least strong dragon armor and at least an aspect of the dragons or pigments. Then afterwards, you want to spam tier 3s to get mats, craft them into items to sell for auction for money. For example, you can craft them into mastiff armor, sell the mastiff armor on the auction house. One set of mastiff armor sells for around 5.5 million coins to around 6.5 million coins. So yeah, you should consider doing that. Tier 3s by far give the most profit and they give you the most value for money. And the capital you need to start for doing slayers is a bit lower. It was only at 5 million plus coins, because in your bank you still need to spend money to buy quests to start doing the slayer quests, and you also need to buy enchanted materials, so you still need some level of capital, but not as much as dragons. But slayers for money is by far the most consistent money making method, because you only need the base drops from tier 3s to make money. So if you guys like consistency, slayers is by far your best bet. And with that, I hope you guys would have made it through mid-game and entered late game and starting making the big bucks. So yeah, with the 3 main methods of endgame grinders, namely Slayers, Dragons, and Eyes, flipping is also viable at the endgame level, but you'll be flipping more expensive items like strong and superior dragon armor. So yeah, I hope you guys found this guide useful and this video. Consider joining my Discord server and enter the giveaway, guys, for even more tips and tricks. Thank you so much for watching my video. It's FurballTheHammy here, signing out.